Hey, it's Linda Winter with another Winter Designs Winter Giveaway. This is giveaway number 2. This one, if you all have been following along, has a theme just like the others. My theme is black and white and red all over. There's nothing to be red, but I have a lot of black and white. I am doing the Nightmare Before Christmas as the theme. I don't even know the story, but I saw this little guy and I thought he was really cute. So hopefully you all will be into the story or know somebody that is, and then this is your giveaway. I'm going to go over what I'm going to give you, and then we're going to talk about how you enter, and then I'm going to show you how a couple of the templates work. So the Skelly, this little guy here, he's a whole lot of fun. You can do whatever with him. Behind him, he's down on the floor. Behind him, you're going to get some peanut brittle. I've got another little guy. He comes with a coffee mug, so you can separate him if you want. If you're really into it, then you can wear your Skelly hat, and then I don't know who this character is, but it's part of the movie, so I had hoped to watch the movie before I filmed, but that didn't happen. But you have 2 hats there, and then you've got a stocking. Of course, you can make your own with the Martelli stocking templates, which is really great. Some good Christmas scent, some Christmas coal if you know somebody that's not been very good. And then I've got this. Later on, you'll see this is going to be really important. This is called a Sew Mate, S-E-W Mate. It's a really cool tool. Push, prod, shove, pull, manipulate, flip, turn, guide, etc. We're going to be using it to flatten out our seams, this part right here, and to push everything down as we go to press on top with the iron. So that's a cool tool as well. Fat Cat, if you all have done Dresden plates or Prairie points or anything like that, you might know these templates. We'll talk about the Get-A-Grip. That's what makes these so great. But this is an 8-inch, and then we've got a larger one here. So this allows you to make bigger pieces than this one does, but this is nice because it's just nice and small. And then we've got the Dresden plate here too. The Dresden plate, very similar to this. We fold our fabric here to make the point if you want to. You'll see a project done with this later on. I'm giving you a 3.5-inch circle and a 5.5-inch circle. You'll understand why a little bit later on when we see how it all works together. And then these are Martelli templates, by the way. And then I have my Winter Design templates. Some of you may know the Lemoyne star. It's a kite shape, so think about a kite. This kite shape, the Lemoyne star, I had a 9-inch and then I think somewhere around a 13-inch. Well, I've added a few things to it. One, I've added a fussy cut frame. So if we wanted to have a frog, a dog, a bear, a toad perfectly in the center, now we've got the frame that allows us to do that. You'll see me do that in a few minutes. But this gives you a repetition of 8 when you piece them together. So I made 2 more sizes. These guys here, this is the same as this. This is a 9, but I made a smaller one. You'll see why again in a few minutes. But this is a repetition of 6. So 6 of these pieced together gives me a 360. 6 of these pieced together gives me a 360. 8 of these gives me a 360. Let me just go to the project so you can see. This is not what you're going to make, but the idea is this guy is made from this. You can see I have, when we fold these in half, you're piecing 2 together, piecing 2 together, piecing those 2, 4 together, and then you'll do the same thing and you'll piece those down the center if you want to do it that way. Totally up to you how you want to piece. But this, there's 8 repetitions here. This guy here makes something more similar to this. I bought this. I saw these guys here. They're all Halloween themed. You're not getting these. This is just to show you. This is what gave me the inspiration. This was going to be a set the table theme, but I didn't have enough stuff, so it became the black and white and red all over theme. But the idea is these can be great mug rugs. If you make it a little bit bigger here, this size, then it's great as a table topper. I also have a big one, a 13-inch. It's not coming with this package. I'll show you some projects that you can do with it later on in another video too, but you get the idea. So these pieced together, great mug rugs, great for putting your drinks and those kinds of things on there, a coaster as well. This could even be, if you make it a little bit larger, this could be great for, change the seam allowance so it's not quite a quarter of an inch, a scant quarter of an inch. Then you can put your plate on top of there so it's even a placemat. But these guys here, I like how they did the backs. This is a solid piece, but this is what I really like. Basically, they pieced blocks. It looks like they probably just did 9 patches. So we've got our 3 across, 3 across, or 3 down, 3 down, 3 down, and then piece that together. We'll talk about that process a little bit later on. But that's what gave me the inspiration for this project. These sizes, again, come with the fussy cut frame. So if you had some fabric where you wanted the trick or treat, you wanted the cat to be perfectly in the center, you could do that. You can see whoever made these didn't really take advantage of that. When you're whipping these out really fast, you just use a smaller print, so it doesn't really matter. So let's talk about prints. Let's talk about fabrics. These are the fabrics that I'm including. black and white and red all over. So I've got lots of black and whites and some reds popped in. We've got some flowers because it's a skeleton theme. Nightmare Before Christmas, I've got Skelly the skeleton here. More black and white, some red, some black and white, some black and white, some white and black, really. This is one of my favorites here. I love this. I think it really goes well with the Skelly. And then black and white, another red, more black and white, really white and black and white. This is a white tone on tone. I don't know if you can see the holly leaves in there for the theme. And then we've got some nice batik and then another. So you've got all these fabrics that are coming with the project as well. So I'm going to get rid of this. Those you can use to make any of these things out of this. So let's talk about the Get a Grip. This guy here grabs. I've got 4 layers stacked up because it has that Get a Grip. We don't need to use one of the paper templates or the acrylic syrup that are out there. And when I cut and 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 I cut, every cut is going to be exactly the same. When you're first learning how to use the Get a Grip templates with our rotary cutter, think 4 layers, but later on you can do 2, 4, 6, 8 maybe, depending on the loft of your fabric. Traditional quilting cotton fabric. Now in my other videos I'll show you how to place your fabric on yardage, but for right now I've just taken fabric and I've folded it in half and folded it in half. If you wear glasses, start on the side and roll backwards and forwards and then go forward like this. And what I like you to do is really start at the edge and then finish off at the edge. So we're getting rid of all those scraps. Turn the template and then we're going to cut. Again, if I've got a smaller piece and I'm not worried about keeping this fabric, I would cut all the way off. Turn the template, cut all the way off. That way I just don't have all that bulk. It's up to you how you cut. Again, if you have eye issues, start on the side, roll backwards and forwards. What that ensures that I do is get this right here. If I start here, maybe I'm on the edge, but maybe I'm not. I don't know if you can see. If you've got eye issues, you think you're on the edge, but you're not. So start on the edge and just roll backwards and forwards. Start on that edge backwards and forwards. That way you've got exactly what it is you want. So I have 4 pieces, my 4 kites that are exactly the same. When we piece these together, let's grab, and you can see basically we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gives me half of a table runner, half of this little ugly guy here. Pretty fabric makes all the difference, but you get the idea. I've got some fabrics here from the smaller one, and there's 3 of these together. And again, pretty fabrics make all the difference. This is not, these are just scraps that we had around. But do you see how this right here, 3 of these, and then you would sew those together. These are going to join up perfectly here. That's why this right here and this right here, that gives you that 1/4 inch seam allowance, and it still gives you that sharp point. But we're going to piece those together, and then we do the same thing in 6 of these. So 6, a whole lot easier to do than 8, but you've got more fabric choices with the wider or with the narrower size. So I'm giving you the 2 of the wider and 1 of the narrower. So you've got those. Now I want to talk fussy cutting. Let's grab, I have some fabric somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Fussy cutting. Fussy cutting a frog, a dog, a bear, a toad, or a dress form. If I want that dress form to be featured, to be highlighted, we're going to find the appropriate template, and you can see this one goes in here. Do I want this as the center with the flower down here? You decide what it is you want. Do I want it instead of on point, on diagonal like that? You choose. You say, well, do I like that size or do I like this size better? Do you see here how that still gives me some rows? It still gives me here. Imagine you've got your 1/4 inch seam allowance that's in here. When you find the one that is the one you want, you choose what it is that you want. If that's what I want and this I want down here, then we get that lined up, and I'm looking here to here. My seam allowance will just barely get right on that edge, and then I take the coordinating template. This is going to go inside, and then we just lift the fabric. That allows me to remove this. What do? We're going to cut, turn, cut. You see all that extra fabric? When I cut all those edges off, now I don't want to cut all of that off because I want to keep all this fabric. So I just cut along here and then turn the template and move that fabric as you go and cut. That ensures that you get exactly what it is you want to cut. No more acrylic templates, no more paper templates, no more of the cuts not being exactly. When you go to piece those pieces together and you do something like this, I want everything to be lined up beautifully. I had some projects, couldn't find them in time for the video, so we're going to do just kind of the ugly stuff. Whoops, I want to grab that piece back. So you have a couple ways to finish off, and I'm not going to do a whole lot in this video because this is the giveaway. But you have a couple ways to finish this off. You can do batting or stabilizer fusible with this, so when you piece them together, it gives you a nice stiffness here. It's totally up to you. What I like to do, whatever I do on the front, I like to use a square on the back. Now I've got a piece of batting here. The reason I like to do the square is I only have to cut one set, and then I've got myself a square. What are we going to do with the sewing machine? We're going to pin, 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 of course, but we're going to stitch, we're going to stitch, we're going to stitch. When I stitch all of these layers here, I don't have to have cut this, and I don't have to have cut this. You may put the fusible right on top of here. I'm going to grab those little pieces back, and I want you to see, it's hard to tell, but there is some stabilizer inside here. You can do a thin layer of batting, you can do a stabilizer. What I like is they've top stitched along so you can see the kite shape, but they're basically just stitching from 1/4 of an inch all the way across to 1/4 inch, all the way across, all the way across, all the way across, all the way across. They're basically just going along. So you get the idea of how they can do that. And again, the back can be a solid if you want to, but I like the idea of doing a 9 patch on the back. I want to show you a few other projects that you can do. And again, I'm not going to do it here, but with this template, if you're the winner of this template, this is one of the wacky webs. Wacky web, if we look at this, this is the Lemoyne star. But when you piece all these blocks together, this is the start of a spider web. When I have another block, another block, another block, basically I've got, or 2 more blocks, I've got the spider web here. So it gives me a really cool look that we have here. So this, if you look at this, this isn't the same width, this isn't the same width, this isn't the same width. That gives you a wackiness. What I like about the templates though is that I've got the point. I like seeing the points line up, and I like seeing the points here. I'm going to show you in a video how to do this. This I've used just one of those bags that you get at one of the shows or that you have at home that, you know, has somebody's logo on it, and who cares about it. But you can also use a stabilizer. This is a flip and sew method, so I'll show you how to do this in another video. This is another project. This project uses the Lemoyne star, and again, it's the bigger size. It's not included in the project, and it uses my crazy quilt template, but you get the idea. This right here is the Lemoyne star, and we see 1, 2, 3, 4 pieced to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you've got a solid on the back as well. So I want to show you back to the fat cat, these fat cats. This project somebody made, I found it at a trade show, one of the guilds that was selling projects. Sometimes you have time to sew, but when you do this as a business, who has time anymore to create projects? But do you see how this gets you this? And remember when I talked about the circles? This 3.5 is a little bit too small for this, so you could do the 5.5 here. You choose, and you don't have to do this size. You can cut it down. Martelli makes the 1/4 inch circles. I make the complete circles. So if you have the 1/4 inch circles, you're going to have more options. I just have a 3.5 and a 5.5 included in the package. But you can see how this allows you to do a project like this. You can do a bigger one. So if you wanted to do one for your table, one for under a smaller Christmas tree, then I've given you these options. And again, you can do this as well. This is basically the same size here, but this has the Dresden plate. So imagine having a scalloped edge along the way. Okay, so let's talk about how you win this stuff. So let me kind of clean up my mess, and we're going to come over here so it's a little bit prettier. So imagine my Scully that's down on the floor and all these templates. How do you get these tools and all the little goodies that I have here? You're going to go to my Facebook, Winter Designs for Sewing and Quilting. So in Facebook, you're going to search for me. If you already are a part of this stuff, then you know all about it. Winter Designs for Sewing and Quilting, and it's the ampersand symbol rather than the word and. Find my page, like my page. It's a business page, so you want to like me rather than friend me. And then find the time for another giveaway where you'll see black and white and red all over. I'll have a post on this. When you see that post, you're going to add a comment. Pick me. I know the story, Linda. I love it. Or I know the story. I don't like it. Whatever. Add a comment. I want to win. I want to make this for my grandson. I want to make it for me. I want to keep the hats. Whatever. I don't care what you put. Thank you for all the comments you've been putting for everything else. I've been swamped trying to read them all and swamped trying to respond, and it's just not going to happen. So thank you for being a part of my Facebook. Like me. Once you've done that one time, you're good to go. The second thing, make sure that you've added a comment under the post. Time for another giveaway. If you add a comment on a picture, if you add a comment on this video, if you add a like on one of the projects or one of the videos or one of the comments, that doesn't enter you into the giveaway. So you want to make sure you liked my page and you've added a comment. That's where I'm going to draw the names. I'm drawing this Let's see, the giveaway starts on the 9th, so I'll be drawing it a week from that date. And you'll see the dates are posted on my Facebook, so don't hold me to it here. So hopefully you'll know what to do. You'll like these project ideas. I've got 2 more giveaways for you this year for my December month of giveaway. So stay tuned and good luck. I hope you win.